in the darkness, you see in the distance a podcast. This is that podcast. Welcome to the Bespoke podcast. Today we're talking about Adventure Time.
If you're lost in the sea and you see this podcast, does that mean you're those frozen businessmen from like season 2 or whatever? Like you're adrift and you're...
Why aren't they part of the Candy
what happened to the
Kingdom
businessmen?
They should be in the formidable legion of Candy King haters.
They're clearly the biggest Candy King haters that we ever did see, but we're getting ahead of ourselves.
We're getting way ahead of ourselves. We're talking about the 4 newest episodes of Adventure Time.
Of course, in chronological order.
In chronological order, as per the norm.
As per the will of God.
The last 4 episodes of Adventure Time.
The last 4. Oh my goodness.
Before
like the massive
finale, the 4-episode finale of Adventure Time.
I'm glad that there's a 4-episode finale. I didn't know that when I first watched these episodes, and I thought it was just gonna be like 1 2-parter or something.
That would have been
been terrible.
I mean, it still might be kind of terrible.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
But we gotta start with Blenanas.
We're gonna start with Blenanas. Where would you like to describe this episode, Ben?
Blenanas, part of a nutritious breakfast.
Yeah.
So Finn is... So we've just left, as Jake has just left to another dimension.
Yep. We'll get to that again.
A startling cliffhanger that we were all very excited for, but we'll get to that. And Finn's just kind of hanging around, and we're sort of confirmed at this point that Finn doesn't really do... Finn's kind of a boring guy without Jake.
He just sort of hangs around.
He just sort of hangs out, doing his own thing.
Okay, so basically just brief description. Finn wants to be funny. He and Ice King sort of go on an adventure, make a magazine.
Sort of. So there's somehow a the magazine is obviously still in publication somehow. The same way, I guess, that Soda Machine kept getting restocked. Which was
how did he get his if they've been out of business for like 1,000 years, how exactly did he get his hands on that the issue?
Exactly. Like how long, like where did he find this thing?
Yeah.
There's a lot of unanswered questions in Blenanas that will never be answered.
that never need to be answered.
Well, I mean, they don't need to be, but it would have been nice if within this episode they had some sort of answer. But the magazines that they have are like in mint condition. Like there's not even any wear and tear. It was obviously just sent to him last week, so it's unless he keeps them all in like plastic protectors and he's like a super collector. I don't think so.
But yeah, that aside, logical implications aside,
of course, I would never do such a thing in Adventure Time.
I thought this episode was actually kind of funny at some points. It had some good jokes.
I mean, it was okay.
But I think in the context of the final 4 episodes before the end of this series, it's like, I just sort of like, I've got it in my head, this like idea of like, okay guys, we only have like 4 episodes left. And then one guy's like, okay, I've had this really great idea for an Adventure Time episode for years.
It's like, guys, we need this Finn and Ice King episode. They've never been together before. We need this combination now.
I feel like this guy's been sitting on this idea, this magazine idea, for years. Like, but the show's gonna end, and I'm not gonna be able to do it. So like, they decide we'll put it in.
Somebody
like
promised this guy that he gets to do this episode.
Yeah.
And they've just been like putting it off until now they're like, where's my episode again? And it's like,
But yeah, it's kind of like alright guys, normally I'm like a defender of like sort of quote unquote filler episodes, but this is the end of the show.
It's like what are you filling here? You could fill it with anything. So, to go into the specifics of the episode, so Finn writes a joke, BMO doesn't think it's funny, so he tries to get it published to prove that it's funny.
That's the thing of the episode. He's like, I'll prove to you that it's funny. He's like, oh yeah? It's like, yeah. It's like, really? It's like, well, I'm kind of bored.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Which... like we said, it's just like, it's basically them admitting that it's filler. Like, he's just doing it because he's bored,
Yep.
and it doesn't really have any implications to anything.
Yep.
And then, okay, so, writes the joke, tries to get it published, Ice King comes with him, because he's also a fan of whatever magazine. Blah magazine.
Shows it to PB, and I guess
she doesn't think it's very funny either.
Well, no, she's like she's too smart for the joke.
she's too much of an intellectual, too much of a white tower or the ivory tower intellectual to really understand the humor of the common people.
So he and Ice King make a new issue of the magazine. Then Ice King burns the place to the ground.
Ice King burns the place to the ground, and
and Finn's like, yeah, you're right. Shouldn't be nostalgic. And
I don't know.
That's how it ends.
And that's how it ends. And then Finn learns a very valuable lesson that you don't need everybody to think you're funny, I guess.
Hooray!
Which is, I mean, as lessons go, is extremely weak. Considering that he's never really struggled with this before.
Well, it's not.
There's never been a point where Finn's like been really insecure about being funny.
We're not having major character development for Finn in this episode, and unfortunately.
Because I feel like, even in filler episodes, it's nice if they like remain in character. Like, when has Finn ever been insecure about this kind of thing?
I mean, he's kind of a goofy guy.
He is.
And I'm not saying like, oh, Finn would never do this, because like, he'd probably do this. It's just he went on a goofy adventure like he does.
I mean, not the biggest, I guess, but like the crux of the issue is like, why was he so bothered that Bimo didn't think he was funny? Bimo's a robot. Why would Bimo think he was funny? I mean,
come on, Bimo has more emotions than everyone.
But I feel like the way the dialogue was written, it would be more like he'd show the joke to Bimo. Bimo would be like, "Oh, it's not funny." He'd be like, "Oh well, you're just Bimo. You don't know what you're talking about." Like, "Oh, Bimo," and then just keep going.
He's bored. He wants something to do.
So he goes, hangs out with Ice King.
Yeah, I think actually the best part of this episode was like, they're like, when Finn first like walks out the door, it's like, fine, and then they walk out of the door all angry, and then he like turns around and like waves through the window, and Bimo like,
that was pretty funny.
It was adorable.
All right, so
there
was some good parts to the episode. I don't think overall. I think it was a pretty boring episode, not very funny.
Yeah, it was just sort of. I mean,
it had that joke, and it had at the end when they burn the place down.
That was pretty great.
Although it also kind of bothers me that they burned it down, because now it's just like this thing that we've just introduced is now gone forever. So it only exists for one episode.
This episode doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is normally not a problem, except this is the end of the series.
It should matter. What are they doing? Like, they didn't, this is the only thing they could come up with for, like, what they were doing while Jake is doing this other thing in the next episode. Like, they couldn't be doing anything else.
Yeah.
Like, helping with the gumball thing.
Yeah.
What if this was used
maybe they could have used this episode to establish Gumball having a nation now, which we'll get to.
Every single point has to end with, we'll get to that in the formal episode. Because these 3 episodes are basically like filler.
Well,
and then we get to the big episode.
We have something that is like sort of...
I'd say the first 2 episodes are basically entirely filler.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next episode.
We're already like bleeding into the next episode, so we'll quickly try to get to it.
The Star Child is the next episode.
Star Child.
Yeah,
so he much like the Star Child in another episode, he's being taken advantage of.
I think I'm going to let you give your opinion on this episode, and then I'm going to go on a bit of a rant.
Okay, so
go ahead.
Here, I'll give you the synopsis, quick synopsis, and then my opinion. So, following on from the cliffhanger from the previous episode, the ghost one, following on from ghost episode, Jake is taken to an alternate, well, not alternate, I guess it's just a different planet, I guess. As it turns out. It looked like an alternate universe, just from the portal they went to. But it turns out it's his bio dad, and his bio dad wants to be his friend. But wait, he doesn't want to be his friend. He's actually evil. and he's trying to take his stretchy power as like trying to basically like eat his soul to like make himself immortal.
Yep.
That's the basic gist of it. Although it requires Jake stretching, I guess.
Yeah.
But in any case, he turns the tables on him and is stuck on an. Turns his table on his. What was his name?
I can't even remember his name because he was so inconsequential.
He was. It was a cool name though.
It was some goofy name.
Yeah, just edit his name in somewhere. Edit his name in.
Probably not gonna.
Yeah.
Do that.
Okay. Whatever.
Maybe I'll just write it on screen.
Good idea. So anyway, he turns the table on him, but he's still in the other world.
Yeah, gets him swallowed by a black hole,
which is pretty cool.
You know, funnily enough, this blue alien whose name we don't remember. He's a bad dad, but he's definitely not the worst dad.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Because he like feels bad for it in the end, and that's what gives Jake the upper hand.
that's what gives Jake the chance to strike. Yeah. This is a moment of weakness.
So yeah. All right. So
yeah. Wait. I guess I still gotta give my opinion.
True. Go ahead.
So a huge waste. Just a massive waste of potential with the setup of Jake's dad getting bitten on the head by this thing all the way back in, whenever that happened. It was just like he came, he went, now he's dead. And
Jake's in space.
Jake's in space,
which
and
they resolve immediately.
It's immediately resolved. But I mean, his dad situation. I'm more worried about the dad situation being immediately resolved. Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
He's the main character other than Finn. Finn's dad got like 1 million episodes. I mean, they've got like they've got their real dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is great, and he's the best dad ever. But he's both their dads.
Pretty much. It's alright. So this is an episode that is weirdly is okay like on its own. But, like, in the context of the rest of the series, it really upsets me. So it's kind of like the opposite of the last one, I guess. I don't know. Or the same as the last one. Anyway. But, so, yeah, like you said, way back, when this character, the blue alien, was first introduced, it didn't have a name. It was just a thing that bit Jake's dad and made Jake.
Yeah, I don't think it even talked.
It didn't talk until this episode.
It might as well have just been an animal.
Yeah. Well, it was in that original episode. Did seem to have some intelligence and was maybe had some kind of plan. Maybe had some kind of plan.
Maybe.
But we had no idea what that could possibly be. Obviously, back when that episode happened, whoever wrote that episode did not have this episode in mind. Of course not. In fact, I'm willing to say that when Jake turned blue back in the Elements arc, at the end of the Elements arc, I'm pretty sure whoever wrote those episodes didn't have this ending in mind either.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like,
in fact, I'm willing to bet that whoever wrote the previous episode, the one where Finn and Jake go to the place to investigate and find Time Bear, and where that ends with a cliffhanger of Jake being taken. I'm pretty sure whoever wrote that episode didn't really see this coming either. I have a feeling that they wrote this episode in between making that one and
it's
producing.
That would definitely fit, considering that the cliffhanger was basically just like nailed on to the last bit of the ghost episode. Like it just happened at the very end.
I think they have, but then in this episode they sort of reprise it. But it's different. Yeah. They like have, it like shows them have a longer conversation before they leave, and like I went back and checked because I had to see like in the other thing it's just like we have to leave like is what I think the blue thing says.
Yeah, we gotta leave.
But in this one he's sort of like kind of goofy now.
Yeah, he's got
he turns into like a sort of jokier character. It's like oh okay.
Like, I mean, so you're cheating with your cliffhanger.
Yeah, like it seemed like it might actually be serious in the cliffhanger. No, it's just kind of like, all right, let's get out of here. And like, and it's like being a goofball.
Yeah, it's like,
all right.
It's like this could have been like a cool dramatic moment for Jake. You know, the kind of moment you might have in the last 4 episodes of your cartoon show.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they felt like they had to resolve this.
Yeah, I guess so.
But if this is how they wanted to resolve it, they should have just left it unresolved.
Yeah, they should have just left it alone.
Left it alone. If this was their only idea, then they should have just said, no, we'll just leave it a mystery. That's fine.
If their only idea was another bad dad, then it's like, just leave it to the theories. Just leave it to the people.
Yeah, just leave it to make it, I don't know. Why did they have to, like...
yeah, I don't know.
Do something boring when they could have just done nothing? Yeah. Nothing would have been better than this.
Oh, well.
And that's my rant. Like, nothing would have been better than what they came up with for this one.
It's just...
This is going to be a really negative episode of the Bespoke podcast.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? We take what we're given.
And this is the ending. It feels bad all around. It's just the ending.
All right, we got to move on.
So we got to move on to Temple of Mars.
I like this episode mostly.
Yeah, this was a good episode because I mean, like, it's just about undoing the previous episode.
Yeah, basically.
But like, they were gonna do that anyway, so they just found an interesting way to do that.
Yeah.
Like, would it have been more interesting if they just got on a spaceship and went and found Jake? Not really.
No. But I mean, like, so yeah, like the mechanics of the episode, like how they're gonna find Jake doesn't really make any sense. But the point is, we get to see Normal Man, and he's like the best character, so it's all good.
I mean, I figure they probably would have magicked him back regardless.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Like, what are they gonna do? Like leave Jake there to die? Like, ooh, that would have been a real twist there.
Jake just dies.
Yeah, it's just like Jake's just gone, and like Finn's just like, well, I guess I'll never see Jake again, and then they just do all this without him.
Yeah, we have Normal Man shows up, Jermaine shows up.
Jermaine, yeah, what a cool guy.
Betty returns. Finally, she is putting sand into filling a giant hole with sand 1 grain at a time, which is pretty messed up.
Pretty great. But I mean, how else are you gonna? She's pretty crazy. So.
Are you gonna rehabilitate her?
Yeah. So the point of this episode is that they gotta go find Jake, and Jermaine shows up to help.
Jermaine's like, Finn, where's Jake? He's like, I had a bad dream about him. He's like, he'll be right back.
Yeah.
For some reason, Finn has got like 1 billion boiled eggs that he's like pouring into the fridge at the beginning of the episode. That's right. And that's just like the thing he's doing before Jermaine shows up.
You gotta put those eggs in there.
So Finn like, I know how to solve this problem. Let's go to Mars. So they go to Mars. They meet Betty and Normal Man.
And then Normal Man introduces us to the great machine that does something.
The Deus Ex Machina of this episode.
The machine that, obviously never been mentioned before, but whatever.
Not. That's not even relevant.
Not important. Not important.
But the point is, it takes him through 3 puzzle trials, mind trials.
So it's apparently like reading their mind and trying to
And they have to resolve that in order
and then this somehow gets Jake back.
It just does.
And the funny part is it doesn't like find Jake or like take them to Jake. It just teleports Jake to them. Which is very. I mean, yeah, this is a very useful machine, man.
Yeah, but like the trials inside are kind of interesting.
They're pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah,
got the frog trial.
Got the frog trial, whereas like it is kind of funny how there's one fern.
Yeah, there is one fern frog,
and then like 40 billion Ice King or Simon frogs.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
And then there's like the math problem. I'm not even really sure what the trial was for the second one.
Yeah, the math problem was.
Betty's trying to solve a math problem, but the sort of Simon Ice King monster up there is doing something to it.
Something.
So the solution is to destroy the blackboard and fall through into the white void. Never would have figured that one out.
Yeah, it's just like, so what was the trial again? Was it to solve the puzzle?
And then finally, you see, here's an annoying thing, like, people are like, did Betty actually change the past? No, because then she wouldn't be here.
Yeah, so, yeah.
It was just a sort of symbolic gesture, I guess.
Yeah.
It was a weird one to be sure, but,
It's like she saved this version of herself. Like maybe this is like, you know, parallel universe thing going on.
Like I think I'm pretty sure it's all in their heads, so
yeah.
it probably doesn't have any effect on anything.
Yeah, of course. Like we're all forgetting that this is inside the big mind machine that the normal man or King Man has. Excuse me. That he has.
His Majesty.
So none of it was real in the first place. It was just like from her head, like a hologram or whatever.
And the thing that is weird about this is that so like Betty sort of learns her lesson. She's like, you know what? I need to stop obsessing about Simon because I need to live my own life. And then when they get out, she's like, I've had a great idea to get Simon back.
It's like, wait a minute.
Wait.
What was this episode about again?
Yeah. Didn't we just do a thing? It's like, no. I mean, she is crazy, so...
Yeah, I mean...
I guess...
It's hard for crazy people to learn their lesson, I guess.
Fair enough. But, like, it does seem kind of like, well, then, I guess at least we got Jake back.
Yeah, I guess Jake's back now.
And then they're all like, oh, also, we're going to bring Margles back from the Maw of Gold. And that's... I guess this is probably going to be part of the finale now as well.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I mean, it would be kind of funny if it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was just like, that was the end of that story.
It's like, whoops.
So I'm kind of not sure where they're going to go with this.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe it'll be cool.
I mean, maybe they're going to go fight Golb, but that would be weird to do without any build-up whatsoever.
Yeah, that would be weird. And then while they're dealing with all this Gumbaldia stuff.
Betty's not wrapped up, because obviously they're going to do
Betty's
something.
Betty's going to show up in the last
They're going to do
episodes,
something.
yeah.
But what they're going to do, I don't know. And if it's going to go attack the giant space being that has been sort of established as this godlike creature that is
yeah.
That is can't be even remotely comprehended.
It's
evil.
It's some kind of, eldritch horror that lives off in the depths of space.
Like Prismo can't even do anything about him.
Whoa, Prismo.
Where's Prismo?
Where is Prismo? He's cool.
Yeah,
Can we have a Prismo episode?
Why didn't Finn say, Jake's missing. We should go ask Prismo.
Yeah, why'd you go to exactly why did you go to Mars? You could have just asked Prismo.
I mean,
Prismo, where Jake at?
Yeah, but no. We can't do that. That'd be too easy.
Alright,
cool. Anyway, that's my stupid idea that maybe they're just trying to wrap everything up.
I mean, I think that's definitely a part of it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, especially with the Jake's dad one. Like, that was like just for the purposes of we introduced this a while ago and somebody wanted to do something with that.
And they decided to do something terrible.
And they messed it up.
Yep.
Alright.
Moving on to the final episode before the finale 4 episodes.
Gumbaldia!
So obviously the first question is, where did the nation of Gumbaldia come?
Gumbaldia, the nation of the title, has sprung forth from nothing. Is there like a comic I'm supposed to read or like some sort of like wiki post that like explains what exactly happened with Gumbaldia? Because Gumbaldia went from not existing to being an entire country between the last time we saw it, which was I believe the last time we saw it was like
we didn't. It just
Wait.
appeared.
I mean, the last time. When was the last time we saw Uncle Gumbald?
Like in what was it? It was like his when the Green Knight came.
Yeah, it was with Green Knight. 17. So they just left.
And now he's got a nation.
And now they're just like, bye, and then like 5 episodes later,
it seemed like he was just basically alone in like a laboratory for the longest time.
Yeah, it seemed like he was in a secret lab.
Yeah, doing stuff. But apparently now, like we were saying, like, oh man, Gumball, he doesn't really seem like a very threatening villain. It's like, how do we make him a threatening villain? We'll just give him a nation from nothing.
Give him a country, yeah.
Now he's got an army. He's
like, man, he's really threatening now.
Now he's scary.
Now there's like, some sort of like Cold War situation going on.
I mean, it is. I mean, like, I guess now he is kind of more serious.
Yeah.
But he has a nation now from nothing. So
yeah, it's just kind of a whiplash there.
It's like, oh hey, that's a country, and like it starts with PB doing like flyover spy satellite pictures taking, which is kind of funny.
Which is pretty funny, admittedly.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's talk about this episode apart from the fact that
Gumball
that there's like a massive gaping plot hole in it. So how does it stand up on its own? Other than that,
I think it was actually
an
pretty
okay
good episode.
Other than that. Yeah,
it sets up the finale pretty well.
Other than, of course, that thing. But it sets up the finale.
It wasn't itself set up very well, but it does set up the finale
exactly,
well.
That's what I'm trying to say. You know, what do you... I mean, they weren't given a lot to work with here.
That's true.
I mean, whoever wrote this episode could have obviously written all the previous episodes too, but my point is, from a starting point of nothing, I think they get to a pretty good place.
They do. So, PB is preparing for war with Gumbaldia because, well, Gumbaldia exists now.
Yeah, exactly.
And they need to prepare for war.
I mean, they've proven that they're a hostile force. I don't think it's that unreasonable.
Yeah, it's not unreasonable at all. But Finn's like, wants there to be peace because, you know...
I guess that makes sense.
At first I kind of thought, I was like, he knows Gumbald is evil, though. But then I'm like, you know what? Finn's just kind of, even he knows Gumbald is evil, but he still wants there to be not a war.
Still makes sense to not have a war.
Yeah, so, but PB is pretty much past it. He's like, no, we're gonna have to go to war, and it seems like she's right because they're going to war, because they're going to war now.
Because I mean, PB is right again, of course.
As usual, but she's unfortunately right this time. Finn was a little naive, which he's Finn.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
But so
yeah, Finn goes on a diplomatic mission. He's a diplomacy boy today.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I thought was cute. Jake becomes his hat, which is weirdly a thing I don't think they've ever really done before.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like specifically his hat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and he has his confrontation with Fern.
Ooh yeah.
Which was actually kind of my favorite part of the episode.
Really.
Mostly because they did this one thing that was really good. Because, they're, talking a bit during their little fight. And it's, at the very end of they're like, I have everything you have. I'm better than you. You don't have anything. Stuff like that. Yeah. And, as he says, you don't have anything I don't have. Jake comes out and, punches him in the face.
Yeah.
And that's what ends the fight, basically. And they don't, go, you're wrong. I have my friends. It just happens, and it's subtle.
It's self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's clear what they were going for. It's obviously Finn is not alone. Fern is alone.
Real friends.
Yeah, it's they don't go power of friendship. No, they don't need to do that. They just show it.
He's not on the ground and then he slowly rises up. He's like, "There's one thing that I have
they don't
that you could never know."
They don't do that at all, and that's great. That's why I liked it. It was mature. It was well done.
It's just bam.
So that was the best part of the episode.
Yeah, that was the best part. I agree. Now that I'm thinking about it, that was the best part of the episode.
And then after that, Aunt Lolly shows up and decides to. Well, we pretty much know she's plotting something maniacal from the very beginning.
I mean, if you're paying attention, it's not exactly hard.
Yeah, so she tricks Finn into thinking oh, we're gonna be friends, basically.
Yeah, basically.
And then they pour the sort of, what do they call it, the dum-dum juice on him so they can try to get him to get PB with it by accident.
Was that the plan? Was the plan to so I got kind of confused. Was the plan to hit PB with the thing, or was it to hit Jake and Finn with it to provoke a war?
No, they wanted Finn to hug PB while he was covered in the juice to get it onto PB.
Because
that was their plan.
It felt like to me that it was kind of implied that they wanted PB to start the war so they could have a position of we're getting attacked.
They were just gonna start the war. They don't care if they're in the right.
I was probably overthinking it.
Yeah. No, they just tried to get PB out of the way.
Right.
It didn't work. They got poor Peppermint Butler instead.
Yeah, they got Pep Butt.
Oh no, Peppermint Butler, and then PB gets really mad because Peppermint Butler is the only competent candy citizen.
Yeah, she's like, oh no,
my only competent creation.
My only not failed creation.
That didn't turn on me.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. But so one thing about this episode that I wanted to talk about is sort of like, I think I talked about this before with you, was like the transplant of personalities into Chicle and whatever her name was.
I mean...
Aunt Lolly.
Yeah.
It's like, so, but the way they do it is like really like ham-fisted and like crammed in, like I think like they literally say like, there's Chicle, he's the funny one. Well, yeah, there's Aunt Lolly, he's the planning one.
Well, they've been doing the Chicle the funny one since the very beginning.
But they have to like
Chicle has his inception. He's like, you're the funny one.
Yeah, that has happened. That has been happening admittedly. But especially with Aunt Lolly, it's just like, Aunt Lolly, you're always planning something. It's like, has she?
I love to plan.
I love to plan. It's like, wow.
Good job. Like, great character development.
Yeah, it's like, man, I'm really glad Aunt Lolly finally got some real character development.
And we still have not addressed the sort of elephant in the room of Uncle Gumbald, Aunt Lolly, and Cousin Chicle. Is that Uncle Gumbald still betrayed Aunt Lolly?
Yeah, they still did, and they don't seem to mind too much.
Okay with that.
Yeah, they still trust him, and they're like, yeah, this guy's gonna be the leader of our country.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
I guess they just don't remember, or...
They must remember.
I mean, come on. I mean, is it possible that he, like, made a new Chicle and Lolly from, like, the ground up?
No, they returned to normal. Just
right,
like,
yeah, they returned to normal with the thing.
Lumpy Space Princess did the
thing.
Yeah. So, there's
no
reason.
Whatever she did.
There is no reason for them not to be like, hey.
Wait a minute.
Like, they're not retarded.
Yeah, they're not stupid anymore. They're supposed to be gum people.
Yeah, apparently Aunt Lolly's supposed to be smart. So maybe she's planning, like, an elaborate revenge.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see about that.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll prove us wrong. Maybe there's some kind of plan in the background. Which, if they did that, it's like, good on them. They actually were remembering. Okay. But from our perspective... It looks like they're not.
Yeah. It's like they're acting like candy people when they're supposed to be gum people, and the gum people are supposed to be smart.
Yeah. Well, she made a diabolical plan, I guess, that was really based on Finn hugging somebody.
Yeah, it was a really bad plan. It was not good at all.
It was really elaborate and like, yeah, but...
It's an extremely elaborate plan that is, completely foiled by chance. Like, there's just like a 50-50 chance that he, touches someone else before he touches Gumball. Or, Princess Bubblegum.
Yeah. So that's basically the episode.
Yeah.
And then PB's going to war.
Oh, I mean, we didn't mention Gumbald's, like, mech, which is...
he's got a giant
gum mech.
Robot. I'm, like, looking at that, it's like, oh, no, he's got a giant robot. It's like, PB can literally build an army of robots. She has been proven to be able to build an army of robots.
We just saw, like, the Gumball Guardians, who are, like, the coolest guys ever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the cake is supposed to be better than the Gumball Guardians, maybe, and that's what's so dangerous, but, like, the Gumball Guardians are not the smallest thing.
Yeah.
Are not the most powerful thing in PB's arsenal, obviously.
Yeah, it's just like a giant robot is just not really like, like some, we've fought like big stuff before. Like, remember that big tree thing? Darren the tree?
Darren the giant tree with Maja the Sky Witch?
Exactly.
That was pretty dangerous.
That was a lot. That seems like it would be a lot scarier than just a robot that you could probably just tip over.
Yeah, so I wonder if, like, PB's gonna, like, rebuild, like, her army of little gumball soldiers.
Yeah, I know. I mean, cool. Rattleballs, has got to make an appearance so obviously. He can job again.
Yeah. I wonder if... Did he actually ever recover? Probably.
Probably off screen.
Yeah, probably.
After getting brutally beaten just getting the tar beaten out of him by Susan. Yeah. Hopefully he can recover mentally before he recovers physically from that horrible experience.
Yeah, but anyway, so they're going to war. And if I'm honest, I've been kind of thinking, it would be awesome? War in Ooh. That would be so cool.
Yeah. The second war.
The second war. What was the first war?
The Mushroom War.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was a different war.
Well,
that was before the candies.
Well, yeah, but this is the second war in
Yeah, I guess it's the second war that's gonna, like...
Chronologically.
Anyway.
Not at all connected to the first war.
Yeah, but, like, I've been thinking, like, man, it'd be really cool if, like, some of these characters with all these nations, they actually had a war.
Yeah, because we've got all these different kingdoms.
Yeah, I was
in air quotes.
I was thinking it was gonna be like tensions between the Fire and Candy Kingdom would boil over, and there would finally be like a confrontation.
But no, they just invented a new country.
They invented Gumbaldia. I wonder if Flame Prince is going to show up in the final.
I think most of the important characters are going to show up, and they'll probably be like, all right, guys, we have to all work together to take down this one country that's only existed for like a week.
Yeah.
Guys, we need the Fire Kingdom, we need the Ice Kingdom, we need the Blah Kingdom, we need the Slime Kingdom for some reason.
I was trying to resist, but I couldn't do it to watching the promo for the finale.
Oh.
And it showed, like, it showed Marceline.
Of course.
There, like, getting ready for war. And it showed Lemon Grab is, like, on
boy.
PB's side. And, like, that actually makes sense. Like,
all
most
right.
of the time, they're sort of just trying to, like, not be bothered. But, like, if there's a war, then, like, obviously, he's going to side with his creator.
Yeah, exactly. Like...
Or will he be a traitor? Will he be the Judas?
I could see him being a traitor.
That would be interesting.
That'd be pretty funny.
But I don't think they have enough episodes to make like a Game of Thrones out of
this
scenario.
I don't know if the Earl of Lemon Grab is really gonna shine in these 4 episodes when they're gonna be cramming every single other thing in there.
Man.
Remember this.
Yeah, so getting into that, let's go into our list of the formidable legion of Candy Kingdom haters.
Is it League or Legion?
I can't remember.
I'm gonna say Legion.
Yeah, formidable legion of Candy Kingdom haters.
Family Kingdom haters.
First, we have Ricardo.
Ricardio, the Heart.
Ricardio, the Heart. Which, hooray, Ricardo.
Yay!
Ricardio. Do you have any thoughts about Ricardio?
They haven't done anything. He's pretty cool, I guess. He's a heart.
It's kind of funny.
He's kind of funny, I guess.
Then Bandit Princess, who, like, is a common theme on this list. Are they really Candy Kingdom haters, or are they just generally...
Yeah, they're just, like, kind of like, assorted rogues.
Yeah, like, assorted rogues.
Like, I mean...
Like, obviously, Bandit Princess only appeared in 1 episode.
Yeah, so. Bandit Princess... Did Bandit Princess even, like, go to Candy Kingdom? Or
we don't
see
know,
Candy Kingdom?
She's here, that's for sure. Then Samantha, the warrior dog, who isn't... Last I checked, wasn't even really a totally bad person.
Yeah.
I mean, like, obviously she fought Jake, but at the end they sort of left on somewhat...
Yeah, it's like they weren't haters.
They didn't hate each other by the end. And that's... So, okay, fine. The Peacemaster, who's hilarious, and I love him.
Peacemaster's pretty cool.
So I'm glad he's here, because he's hilarious.
Yeah,
I wonder if his kids are still like demons or whatever.
Yeah, he's still certainly a Candy Kingdom hater. And a Candy Kingdom insurgent.
Yeah, Meow, next one.
Oh, Meow.
Who, like, sure, bring back Meow.
Bring back Meow. Sucks that Meow is like normal size.
Yeah, I like Meow when he was tiny.
Meow made much more sense.
Wasn't Meow like a fan character that they decided?
Yeah, or something like that. Meow was like something some kid drew.
Yeah, like, we'll put it in an episode. And now they're in the final episode.
Wow.
So there we go. Then, alright, here's the one. Well,
yeah, keep going.
Do you have anything else to say about it?
No, keep going.
Pete Sassafras.
Pete Sassafras.
He wasn't even a bad guy.
Yeah, it's like, what?
He was, like, falsely accused.
Well, I guess...
By Finn and Jake.
True. But now he's like, I was falsely imprisoned in the Candy Kingdom.
So, yeah. It was like he was just a normal. He was like a Candy citizen.
That was a great episode.
That was a pretty funny episode. Slang, but he was falsely accused. He didn't do anything wrong. But he's in the league of Candy Kingdom haters now. So
Finn and Jake, they create their own enemies.
They created a real monster.
They created the
real monster. No one's
monster.
Gonna see Pete Sassafras coming.
Yeah. So I mean, other than like he wasn't a bad guy, like what exactly are his skills or talents that would contribute to this league? Exactly, because all he did was get arrested.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Whatever. Ash the Warlock.
Ash the Warlock, who. Again, one-time character. Well, not one-time character. He's made cameos, but he's pretty much a one-time character.
Yeah,
He's like the character with the most backstory of this, like, sort of the most connection to the main cast of this motley crew. Because like he was Marceline's boyfriend at one point. and then that whole thing happened.
Yeah.
I mean, Simon punched him in the face once, which was funny.
That was pretty cool.
But, you know, he's back and he's ready to do some mischief, isn't he?
I guess.
Maybe.
He's ready to contribute his very valuable contribution to the league, to Gumbaldia.
Yep. Sir Slicer.
Sir Slicer.
Do you remember Sir Slicer?
No.
Oh, that's disappointing.
I'm
just kidding. It's not. It's no one should remember Sir Slicer. He was in. I'm pretty season 1 or season 2.
Oh, wait. Sir Slicer. Wait. Sir Slicer. If he was in season 1 or season 2, he was in. Was it the episode where it was, like the armor episode? Was that it?
You're right. It was the armor episode where Finn learns about embarrassment.
Yeah.
That was a weird episode.
I mean, that episode is kind of foggy in my mind. But was he the guy with like the best armor? And he's like,
and it's like,
oh.
and at the end, the armor was he couldn't actually get off his horse because his armor was too heavy. So I'm not sure how much he's going to contribute to the battle.
Yeah. Oh wow.
He had like a pink horse. That was hilarious.
Sir Slicer.
Yeah, Sir Slicer is like always making
also
his
not
biggest crime, just making fun of Finn for an entire episode.
Yeah, also not really a Candy Kingdom hater. Kind of a Finn hater, I guess.
I guess, yeah. So yeah, he's there, Sir Slicer.
Thank goodness we're tying up that loose end.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Everybody was wondering what happened to Sir Slicer.
They're memeing. They're meme. Like freaking Pete Sassafras, come on.
Pete Sassafras, like that he's gonna be in the Formula League. Scorcher! Next one, Scorcher.
You know who Scorcher is, right?
No.
No, you don't remember? He was in the episode Hitman. When the Ice King accidentally sends a hitman to go kill Finn and Jake.
Okay, wait, maybe I remember this.
Okay, he's like, I wish someone would go over and hit Finn and Jake. Just hit him really hard. So he looks up on his ice internet, Hitman, and this guy pops up. It's like, perfect, this guy will go hit Finn and Jake for me. So he sends a hitman to go kill Finn and Jake. Then he's like, wait, I don't want you to kill them.
What?
And then, I guess, for some reason, I remember Ice King actually killing Scorcher in that episode. But I guess I'm wrong, because he's back now.
I mean, not that would be a problem.
Not that would be a problem, because that's season 1 and 2, and who cares? So yeah, that's who Scorcher is. Now you know.
Thank goodness.
Now you know, audience, who Scorcher is.
Yeah, thank goodness. And then we got Burn.
He should be there.
Yeah, I don't remember this guy.
Yeah, Fern,
he's pretty Candy King Haiti. He's
yeah, man. He's like the actual character who needs some resolution.
Yeah,
so
he
I'm glad he's here.
He's the Green Knight.
Yeah, he's the Green Knight.
Very scary.
Very scary. We don't really need to talk about him because And
sure
finally, of course, Ice King is there, and he doesn't know why he's there.
Yes.
But
that was pretty funny.
But Gunther is also there.
Yeah,
he's
Gunther.
Like, I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to be here. But then Gunther's like, shing, and like pulls out his sword.
Yeah.
Gunther is going to war.
Because Gunther is Orgalord. He hates the Candy King.
Yeah, Gunther is secretly, and that's gonna come to a head. Obviously, Gunther's gonna turn back into Orgalord.
Hopefully,
that'll be actually kind of awesome.
That'd be pretty cool.
Then the Lich shows up, and then also
Lich and the Orgalord fight.
Lich and Orgalord have a duel.
And then Glop comes down. He has a fight.
Yeah, all 4 of his heads. Glop,
yeah, exactly.
Gob, Grodd, and
Glob,
all those guys. And yeah, those are the formidable legion of Candy Kingdom haters.
Very scary.
Yeah, and they're back, and it's a meme. They're literally
it's a meme.
They're literally pulling a prank.
Yeah, they're just trying to name drop as much people.
I think they're aware. They're not like, people are gonna be so excited that Pete Sassafras.
Yeah, finally, Pete Sassafras is back.
They know they're just goofing around with these characters.
Right. Yeah.
And I guess maybe they're all gonna appear in the finale.
Probably. They're probably all gonna get knocked out by like one thing.
But probably not even gonna do it. Yeah,
exactly. It's just gonna be like, oh man, look at that league over there. They're so dangerous. Let me send a bomb over there or something. And it's just, and then they're gonna be gone.
Yeah, no, nothing's gonna happen with these characters. This was a joke. If like Pete Sassafras runs in and is like, and they like has like a duel with Finn, I'm gonna be like, are you serious?
Remember me, Finn? And he's gonna be like, no.
No, I don't.
Hello?
Yeah,
that would be a pretty funny joke. What if the joke is that Finn doesn't remember any of these people?
Yeah, like none of these characters are like, oh no, these are real dangerous characters.
Oh really?
No, none of them.
I mean, they're just general antagonists from the past.
Yeah.
Oh well. All right, so that's the end. That's the end of the episode. What do you think of these 4 episodes as a whole?
Well,
I give it a 5 out of 10 because I liked half of them.
We're heading towards that great big finale that's happening.
And then Adventure Time will be over forever.
Forever.
And by forever, I mean a small amount of years until they reboot it.
They better not reboot.
With a new art style. And
they better not reboot Adventure Time. That would make me angry.
And
oh man, what do you mean? What do you mean? They're totally gonna reboot Adventure Time.
Are you kidding me? There's already plans to reboot Adventure Time.
Oh.
It's gonna be Adventure Time. I don't know.
Adventure Time Go?
Yeah, Adventure Time Go. It's gonna be Adventure Time Go. Yeah. And then it's gonna be what's gonna happen. So first, obviously,
Ice King's just a bad guy now.
Ice King is still around unchanged because he's.
It's
immortal.
basically just going to be season 1 and 2 Adventure Time, but always.
Yeah, exactly. This is the reboot. I imagine is going to be like an excuse to get away from all like the world building and stuff.
To get away from all the good parts of the show.
Yeah, all the fun parts that are cool. Just so they can go back to the simple times.
Yeah, the simpler.
When it wasn't as interesting.
But no. I think the finale will probably be interesting.
Yeah,
but, like,
it'll probably be okay.
It's just like it feels.
It's been so let down by the rest of this season.
Yeah, it feels like we haven't been building to it.
Yeah, there's no build up.
We've just been sort of like, here we go. Yeah, it's happening now.
The anticipation is like episodes old.
Yeah, we don't like. Yeah, I mean. I guess it's kind of, it seems like Gumball really is going to be the big bad guy, which is, that's fine. They introduced him this season. Like, I think they're probably going to bring Golb into it, who's been around, like, sort of since the beginning in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
Which is interesting.
I imagine.
But he's like Jake's space dad. One of those things that I don't really think needs a resolution.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
who
cares?
Yeah, so
explain to me who cares about Jake's space.
I mean, it's not about caring. It's about like the mystery, the cool, interesting thing about him is that nothing is known. It's like just this. It just is part. It's a part of the world.
Exactly.
That doesn't really need to be dealt with.
But now it's not a part of the world because he's dead.
Now it's not a part
and
of the world.
And there's not even
something's going to happen.
And it's not even as interesting as like because he was the only one. like at the beginning of Jake the Star Child episode, it's like, oh, this is our town, and it's this is our planet, and this is where we live, and it's just like, oh wow, it's a whole new city or a new world. Though. But it turns out it's all a prank, I guess.
It's all a prank. The entire episode. Jake the Star Child. The entire episode was a prank.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But it just shrunk the world, basically.
Yeah, so they're gonna bring in Golb. He's going to have, like, a goofy voice.
Yeah,
You're going to give him a dumb voice and make him sort of goofy when he should be this mysterious thing that is never really understood or explained. But they're going to do that because finale, and they feel like they have to because, I don't know.
Because they're punks.
Because I guess they don't, I don't know. I guess this is a really negative episode of the Bespoke podcast. Negative episode. I hope I like the finale.
I hope the finale lives up to whatever.
The entire rest of the show.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Sure.
Because the show overall is still amazing.
Yeah.
Even if it ends terribly, it doesn't like put the entire show like down.
Exactly.
Because the show is still good, no matter what happens. No matter what hacks.
I am.
They create this finale.
Because it's like, on one hand, I'm glad they've got like an even, nice, round number for their seasons. Nice, solid 10 seasons. But on the other hand, it should have ended in like season 8.
Probably. I guess they should have ended it before it became this, really.
Yeah. Really. They just needed to
bring it to an end before they have to bring it to a sudden end because they're not allowed to make the show anymore.
It feels like they wanted an 11th season.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then they were gonna have the real final boss in 11, and Gumball would just be this season's villain.
Yeah, but that didn't happen.
Because the stakes are just so low.
It does feel pretty low. I mean, it's the war, but it's like a war between the characters that existed only feels like existed only a few episodes ago.
Yeah. To me, it feels like they've been around for a long time, but that's only because there's been so much time in between the hiatus.
There's been so much hiatus in between the episodes.
That it feels like,
Gumball, he's part of the first season, right?
He's a year old, right?
I mean, I guess they're pulling that, well, technically, these characters have been around since the beginning because they were secretly...
They've been here the whole time.
They were secretly the Punch Bowl character and... what's the name of the pinata? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
And also Crunchy. They've been around since the beginning and they've been great, but they're actually these characters. Yeah, but no.
Yeah,
So, this is the end. There's no more Adventure Time after the finale.
Until the reboot.
But that doesn't count because... I guess we'll cover it.
We're gonna no more Adventure Time period. There's probably gonna be other supplemental things.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be probably.
There'll probably be a comic. There'll probably be.
I'm waiting on a comic that's being delivered.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
About Marceline, it's gonna be pretty cool.
All right.
But anyway, that's pretty much these 4 episodes.
Yep. Give me your score out of 10 because that's the only part that matters.
I gave it a fine out of 7.
Good. That's what we'll put on the top of the article, so people don't have to listen to the rest of the podcast.
Because it's just fine. It didn't really hype me for the finale.
I'm resigned to disappointment with the finale. So.
I'm hyped for the finale, but not because of these episodes.
Exactly.
Because I love Adventure Time, and it's coming to an end, and it's going to be kind of sad.
It will be very sad.
It's gonna
Especially
be
considering just how long this thing's been going on.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
When was this made? 2010?
Yeah.
It's 8 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
All right.
Just a long time, just like this podcast is taking a long time.
It's taking a long time to end.
And just like Adventure Time needs to come to an end.
We need to bring it to an end right now.